This is Frank Berry with Blackbaud TV. I am at NTC 2011. I'm here with John Hayden. John, nice to have you, man.
Nice to be here, Frank.
Yeah, dude. It's cool, man. NTC's been a great time so far, and I'm glad we get to spend a little bit of time talking.
Yeah.
So I know that you're super into Facebook and helping nonprofits use that tool effectively. So, I mean, we can get into that, but first off, maybe tell the people, like, who are you and what do you really like to do?
Well, what I do is I like to help nonprofits utilize the web and help them either amplify their causes, create awareness, or raise money. They want to raise money. So I'll help them, and I work really with small and medium-sized organizations. So they're going to use things like WordPress and Facebook and Twitter, things that are very inexpensive. But often these tools are pretty confusing, like how to use the tools themselves, but more importantly, what's the strategy? What's a strategy that makes sense and is actually going to work for the goals that they want to achieve?
Right. So, I mean, as you're helping nonprofits, especially around Facebook, let's kind of talk about that one for now. I mean, what are some of the things, what are some of the strategies or techniques that you advise them on? Like how do they really go about being successful on Facebook?
Well, I think the first thing is to view, if you're going to have a Facebook page, you have to kind of view that these are your supporters and they want to have a relationship with you. And that is nothing that's confined to a campaign or anything else. It's literally something that will last forever as long as they have a connection with you. So you have to view it that way. You can use a Facebook page to hear what they think about you, ask them questions, get feedback. All too often I see nonprofits, they'll use Facebook, they'll come to me often and they'll say, hey, we want to do this thing on Facebook. Great, that's awesome. What have you been doing? Nothing. Their Facebook page is completely flatlined.
Right.
So we have to bring it back to life. Then there's the campaign. The campaign ends. Then everything goes back to sleep. And that's just not the best way to do it. So view it as a continued, extended relationship that you have with your supporters and constituents. That's the best view. Now, in terms of tactics.
Right. Like, what are some specifics? Real meat.
So real meat. So if you're looking to acquire new fans, it's really important to have something that's branded and interesting, that's visually interesting and has a very clear message. Like our page, here's what you're going to get. Okay. The second thing is you have to have content on the Facebook page that's not going to be found anywhere else, because Facebook users, like you and me, we're reasonable people. We don't just like a page just to hear a mouse click. We have to feel like this is going to be worth my time.
Right.
So it has to be unique. If I can get it on a blog and YouTube and Twitter, why should I like the Facebook page?
Okay.
So it's got to be unique. The second thing is to really experiment with the status update box, and you could have a really interesting discussion with your supporters.
Right.
Ask them very specific questions, preference questions, fill in the blank questions, true or false, yes or no. These type of things will get comments, because keep in mind you have a news feed that goes by extremely fast, especially if somebody has a lot of friends. And if you say, what do you like? Do you like broccoli or carrots? It's like Facebook fans, in a way, you have to treat them like little children.
Right.
Like carrots or broccoli.
Yeah. Well, people don't have a lot of time, and they want it to be quick, and they want it to be fun and interactive. And so those kind of things are effective.
Yeah. And so what you do is you get a reaction from that, and then you can build on that and have a deeper discussion in the threaded comments. That's really where you build it. But you have to get that initial reaction first. And those type of very, very specific type of questions that are relevant, those usually do really well. Got it.
So, I mean, do you have a place where you help nonprofits to learn this kind of stuff on a regular basis?
I do webinars often with Charity How To, charityhowto.com, and also I just launched a website called thenonprofitfacebookguy.com, thenonprofitfacebookguy.com. Tons of video tutorials, tactics, articles, like very specific how-to.
Okay, so thenonprofitfacebookguy.com.
Yep.
And it looks like Facebook. It's actually a cool
totally looks
site.
like Facebook. Yeah.
I remember checking it out.
Not the new pages, but the old. It's the old retro Facebook.
Right. Well, very cool. So where can people go to learn more about you and kind of what you do for the nonprofit industry?
So you can go to either johnhayden.com, Haydon, or inboundzombie.com, and I'm sure you'll have the links below this video. So it's cool.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it.